Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to Higurashi no Nakukoro ni Go, episodes 3 and 4. We're doing 2 episodes this week, because we're finally getting caught up pretty much. With the other episodes, it's like, oh, I've been technically like half a week behind on them because they come out late in the week, I think on Thursdays. Wednesdays or Thursdays. So midway through the week, more like. But I haven't been getting them till the next week after their release, usually early on, but still. I decided to wait this week so I could get to 3 and 4 together, and then from now on, I'll probably be getting to them both, or to episodes at the end of the week, so they'll basically be caught up at this point. I'll be more on schedule with the releases. um, but, so that being said, the second episode delved us into more of what the series is clearly trying to be. A continuation of the original rather than a straight up remake or reboot. Excuse me. But yeah, we see Hanyu in the second episode, and we see information spoken between her and Rika that basically proves that this is continuing from what has happened before, and that it should not be happening again, obviously. So it's going to be interesting to see it. Now, with the nature of how Higurashi no Nakukoro ni has always been, we can expect Go to also kind of go in that route. So I do expect at least some of these early episodes, maybe just in this first loop, to be stuff we've seen before. I expect that because at this point, that's kind of what the series is going for. With the loop and everything aspect of the series, you kind of have to expect that it's going to repeat stuff, and it did in the original series. But each loop was also different in some way. So, although this is the same right now, there's going to be key differences. Hell, we've already seen a couple key differences. The question really leads to, where is this going to end up? Where's the series going to end up? We'll have to wait and see. Goodness. But I've been enjoying these first couple episodes. Like, as I had said in those reactions and thoughts and everything, it's been quite a bit since I've seen Higurashi. Like, I've seen it multiple times, but it's been quite a bit since I've actually watched it. And this coming out around this time and everything is perfect. Not only just because of it having been a while for me, but also just in terms of the time of year. Like, I believe this series was actually one of those that was delayed because of COVID. But then I think, I'm not 100% certain on that. But if not, then it was just planned out perfectly because it coming out around Halloween time, October and everything. And on top of that, this year, it's like this is something that at least I feel is strongly needed. Some people might disagree and say like, "Oh, we want like new content. We don't want all these remakes and shit." And I get where they're coming from, but in a year such as 2020, with everything we've had, with all this shit we've had, with all the shit that's been taken away from us, all the shit we haven't been able to do, a sense of familiarity while also keeping it fresh and exciting is honestly needed. It's something that will add to things, that will make it feel that much better, that much more exciting, that much more interesting. That familiarity helps us feel like we're somewhere, well, familiar, that we can feel comforted in that, despite everything that's happened this year. And the sense of newness to it, through it being, a continuation rather than a remake or anything, that sense of newness, that's going to allow it to, excuse me, keep the attention of the viewers, especially the viewers who had seen the original series or read the source material or whatever. Um, so yeah, I really think that this is a good time for this series of all series to come out. So these first couple of episodes have mostly been set up. We've seen kind of where it's going with Keiichi chopping someone to bits, and we've had a lot of setup like with the town Hinamizawa and its mysteries. There's this woman who apparently died during these protests for the dam. You get to see like every time certain things are brought up, a character, especially like Reina and all, will suddenly get mysterious and creepy. You saw Rika watching Reina and Keiichi with the glowy eyes and everything. Oh, also, by the way, I believe I was told that it's actually pronounced Rena, and that Reina is like a nickname or something for her. Um, which was probably mentioned in the original. It's just a little detail I didn't fully remember. Um, so it's like, either that or Rena's the nickname and Reina's her real name, something like that. One is her real name, one's like a nickname she chooses, or I guess different pronunciation. Um, but yeah, it's like I think it's actually Rena from what I've been told. Either way, either way, no matter how it is. Yeah, there's just been a lot of setup and everything. And right now, I think that's okay. We don't want to introduce things too early, but at the same time, we don't want to take too long. So they're setting things up. They're showing certain characters and symbols and stuff that we recognize that help us realize what's going on. And also, new viewers will probably see that stuff and realize that there's something off about it, just the way it's presented. So it's being handled well. Um, so yeah, I have no idea what's going to happen in these episodes. Again, even basing it like off of the idea that it might be like kind of at first the same as the original series, with a few little things here and there. I don't remember exactly what happened in every loop and every moment in the original series. So we'll just have to see what it brings us, what these two episodes bring us, and hope for the best. I've got high hopes for these episodes. I've got high hopes for the series. So let's get on with it and find out. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then it fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episodes. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Okay, so this might be the end to the first loop. With 4 episodes, that sounds like it would the first loop in this series. I mean, of course, that would make sense with 4 episodes. So in these episodes, we see that Keiichi is continuously suspecting Rena more and more and more. She's continuing to be creepy. She's continuing to be unnerving, and he's starting to kind of really see her as dangerous. Meanwhile, he meets with Detective Oishi, who is trying to find out the whereabouts of Tomitake and Takano. Because they haven't been seen since the end of the festival. He starts talking to Keiichi, mentioning all the stuff about Oyashiro-sama's curse. And when confirmed that Keiichi doesn't believe in the curse either, he feels that he can trust in Keiichi to be kind of like an objective assistant of sorts. Um, Meanwhile, Keiichi's parents head out for a day or two or whatever it was to head to Tokyo for business. So he's alone and finds out that his mom had asked Rena to come over and help make him food. She comes over, but those bento boxes are not full of food. We find out they're full of all kinds of torture stuff, which she doesn't even end up using, really. Like, all she ends up using is a knife. um, but she attacks him with the knife, stabbing him over and over, and he is, in response, hitting her with a box, trying to stop her. I think it was a box. It might have been the alarm clock that she knocked off the table or whatnot. I don't know. Either way, he was hitting her with it over and over. And eventually it lets them both laying there dying on the floor. Her from being hit in the head with something hard and heavy that much, and him from being stabbed in the fucking chest over and over. And somehow he was the one who survived. He was the one that they were able to save. Rena did die, and we find out that Satoko and Rika were also killed at some point during the night at their house. So, yeah, now you're kind of getting to see what Higurashi is all about. It seems kind of cute and light at first, maybe with a little bit of mystery, a little bit of weirdness going on, but then it kind of just pumps it up to 11, and all of a sudden, violent murders everywhere. um, so, yeah, I'm just wondering. This is different, right? Unless I'm mistaken, usually. No, actually, I think I'm wrong. I was gonna say usually I don't think like all these people like this would die in a single loop, but that's actually I think wrong. Because I think there's actually one or two loops where one of the characters kills multiple others at pretty much at the same time. I think it's just basically like the loop lasts for a certain period of time, and that whoever dies during the loop dies during the loop, period. I think that's how it is, no matter how many people it is. So that means that the loop's time frame is still happening as of the hospital scene there. Um, and we kind of get our glimpse at one of the kind of little symptoms of being cursed by Oyashiro-sama, and that is the itchy neck thing, which we saw Rain obviously have. She was like clawing at her own neck and like slicing it open with her fingernails and shit. And then at the end, you saw like Keiichi reach towards his neck and like looks like he's gonna scratch it. I don't know if that was trying to tell us that yeah he was kind of itchy there, or if it was trying to tell us that maybe he realizes something is up at that point. I don't know because he screamed right after, and it's kind of hard to say what the intention with that was. So my guess though is that the next episode is going to be the start of the next loop. So it's going to be interesting to see where that goes. So yeah, this one was pretty simple. It was definitely reintroducing us to stuff as older fans, and for newer fans, it was definitely getting them into this. Um, it definitely kept a lot of it pretty much the same from what I can remember and what I can tell, but also there's a lot of stuff that was hinted at a lot earlier than in the original series. A lot of stuff that was changed, or stuff that was just added in, like Rika and her creepy eyes. Um, but I think I can appreciate that with this series. I think that's okay. So the question is, where is this going to go? Since we basically have it confirmed within the second episode that this is not a reboot, that it's a continuation, where's it going to go? Is it going to go through the same loops again? Because that would be interesting, especially with the fact that it's a continuation. It's like, oh, this is actually a new set of loops, and everything, and it's like we're acknowledging that it is, but it's going through the same beats as before. That would kind of imply a lot about all of this, about that this is like it's very like by the books, like a specific pattern to it, which could help it be defeated later on. Um, we'll see though. We'll see. It might change up drastically for all we know. The censoring, like I expected there to be censoring for this. I understand that it's like at this point we're obviously watching like the televised version and everything. So yeah, there's going to be censoring just like there was in shows like JoJo and many others. But it's like it was such lazy censoring. It's just this little black circle with kind of faded edges. Like it was so obvious. Like but it was so simplistic that it was like you couldn't have tried to do anything else. Like JoJo's censoring is at least a lot better than that, even if it is still not the greatest. But then again, no censoring is going to be the greatest. Let's be honest. It's always going to look weird and foreign and just unusual compared to everything else. We know when the DVD release and shit comes out that that will be fixed on there. Um, and it doesn't take away from the impact of the scene or anything. Like when you're seeing Rana stabbing Keiichi over and over again like that, like you still feel the impact of the scene through the visuals we do see, the audio cues, the voice acting. You still definitely get that, um, and that's good. It's well done. It's just that is such a lazy way to censor something. It just is. Um, I think the anime Terraform Mars did the same kind of thing, just having that black circle. Um, and I never watched Terraform Mars, but I think that was like something people had been like kind of laughing about in the past and all. Um, but yeah, yeah. Um, Either way, this is like no matter what, this has been really enjoyable and really fun, and it's definitely going to be exciting to see where this goes in the future. I'm really glad I chose to react to this after seeing the very beginning of the second episode. Um, because like I had said in that reaction and all that redirect and everything, I didn't initially plan to react to this. I was going to watch it kind of on my own time with Rough Senpai's reactions. Um, but then I saw the beginning of that second episode and found out, oh, this is not a remake. This is a continuation. And it's like, oh, well, that changes everything. If it's going to be a continuation, if it's going to be like something new, pretty much for part of it at least, I definitely want to react to that. Um, if it were just like a 100% beat by beat remake, then it wouldn't have been as interesting to me, or even close to that, really. And again, a lot of this has been the same, but it's been different enough to keep my attention, and we know that it's a new set of loops. So yeah, we know that for sure. Like it's blatantly told us. Um, but yeah, yeah, this is gonna be interesting. So far, not super creative with the deaths. Like like Rena was hit in the head with a box or something, and she was trying to kill Keiichi with a knife. Not super creative. Rika and Satsuko were killed off screen again with a knife. but I think they're trying to save the more creative ones as it continues on. Start really simple and then get into the more interesting stuff. Because the original series definitely had some really interesting kills and just torture methods and shit. It's gonna get wild if it's anything like the original. Um, so that being said, I like I said, I did enjoy these two episodes. Um, and now we're basically caught up, so we'll probably just continue doing Higurashi at the end of each week. Um, with the only exception being is if for some reason I can't get to it, or if for some reason I'm just I need to put it off, which might happen every now and again. And we'll tackle that when we get to it. But for now, yeah, this is probably how it's going to end up being. Um, we'll see how it goes, though. We'll see. Um, but yeah, yeah. Tell me in the comments below what you thought of episodes 3 and 4 of Higurashi no Naku Koro ni Go. And thank you all so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.